Is it really possible for a tiny tweak to your morning coffee routine to ignite your metabolism and put your body into full fat-burning mode for the rest of the day?
Check out the link in the video description now and transform your morning coffee into a metabolism-boosting super drink.
Germany has revealed its plans for war with Russia, with provisions ranging all the way from national service to bin collection. Its roadmap for life under World War III would even see weather forecasts axed as the country shores up its eastern border with NATO. A 67-page document refashioned from Berlin's Cold War-era preparations lays out the framework for a brave new world. Germany's Framework Directive for Overall Defense lays out exactly how ordinary men and women would be affected. National conscription would return and citizens could be drafted at any time. Subway stations, underground garages and certain cellars would be turned into bomb shelters and temporary bunkers. The framework states that any attacks could happen with extremely short warning times, making it crucial for people to be able to protect themselves quickly. If need be, food would be rationed to one hot meal per day, and the government could stockpile wheat, rye and oats in secret spots. But in order to stop an epidemic, the government insists bin collection would continue even during war. Those 18 or older can be forced to stay in certain jobs that provide essential services during wartime. They gave examples of care, post office and bakery work and said people might be forced to work on public holidays. Shockingly, extreme cases would see weather forecasts banned for safety, presumably as it would help Putin's troops to plan an attack. All of Germany's tanks and military vehicles would get priority on roads and railway lines throughout the country, limiting normal traffic. Air traffic could also be blocked at a moment's notice, as well as public transport including buses, subways and trains. Companies across the country would focus on making defense products and hospitals would gear up for a large number of casualties. Germany is nestled in between most of NATO's key member states, with France, Spain, Belgium and the United Kingdom to its left. On its right lie a flank of particularly at-risk NATO countries including Poland, the Czech Republic, Slovakia and Hungary. Russia has repeatedly threatened NATO states including Poland, for example, which is busy crafting its own £3 billion 430-mile line of defense against Russia. If World War III was to break out between NATO and Russia, Germany would become a crucial port to ferry through troops, weapons and more. Its war plan states that the Bundestag, Germany's federal parliament, must remain in place throughout war to keep a sense of stability in the country. In order to protect Germany, a large number of its troops would move to border its eastern flank. NATO soldiers from its allies would also be housed, fed and protected on German soil as they moved to fight Putin's troops. National media would be made to broadcast important war announcements immediately. During national evacuations, families would be kept together and emergency supplies of drinking water would be stocked up. Doctors, psychologists, nurses and vets, among other medical staff, would be spread across the country to help where needed. Germany's plan was revealed as fears of an all-out war between NATO and Russia continue to grow. Only days ago, Putin vowed to send his terrifying set of long-range missiles to allies across Europe after learning of the West's renewed support for Ukraine. Earlier this week, a US-made weapon, the HIMARS missile, blasted key military targets inside Russia for the first time ever if confirmed. It would mark the first time since Washington gave Ukraine the green light to use American weapons to hit back at Russia, triggering a major escalation in the war. His war against Kiev has now raged on for more than 2 years. By our channel's defense editor Jerome Starkey, Vladimir Putin has threatened all-out war if Ukraine uses Western weapons to hit Russia. The tyrant singled out Britain, warning, countries with small territory and dense populations should be careful. Russia uses Iranian, North Korean and Chinese weapons to attack Ukraine. But the president said Kiev responding with rockets from allies risked a global conflict. The UK has provided Ukraine with both lethal and non-lethal weapons. Putin said, constant escalation can lead to serious consequences. NATO members, particularly in Europe, should beware of what they are playing with. When asked if Ukraine had been banned